Like I said, the placenta previa had been misdiagnosed, and the other doctor should have been more vigilant, is what pretty much what he said. That he would never have told me that everything was okay with all the symptoms that I had given him. Everything that had happened up until that point, he would never have told me everything would be okay. Um, but all my tests came back fine, and he said the chances of the placenta previa happening again were slim. The chances of the miscarriage was slim, because everything else was normal. My progesterone levels were normal. They had to do that twice because my cycles were. He didn't account for my cycles being longer than 28 days, and they were 31, 32 days long. So, um, but so we went in and we had this test done and everything was not fine. And I got the okay that if we wanted to start trying again in December, we could. Um, I got my period over New Year's. That was very interesting, New Year's, and that's a whole other story. Um, but January, I don't know why, but I just had this feeling right away that I was pregnant. And this is, talking like a week before my period was due. I'm pregnant. I just have this gut feeling that I'm pregnant. I didn't have any symptoms or anything like that. And, but I was like, I'm pregnant. So I get to like 2 days before my period's due, and I couldn't take it any longer, and I took a test, and it was positive. And the third positive in a year, or in 2 years. And I just remember sitting there and just like, no, this is not right. This can't be right. I know for sure I'm pregnant, but this is not right. I can't be pregnant again because we weren't trying. We were doing everything we could not to get pregnant, and but I went that very day and I had a blood test done and it came back positive, and so um, I gave my husband a Valentine's gift early, and I wrapped up a baby bib that had "I love Dad" on it with the test, and on my Facebook page, not my Facebook, my MySpace page, I have it posted up there. And in another video, I have how I told him, and I didn't videotape it because I knew if I had a camera out, he would have known something was up. So that's the only reason I didn't videotape it. But like the last two pregnancies, we were very scared in the beginning. We didn't tell anybody until I was about 9.5, almost 10 weeks. And um, we, I switched doctors in the middle of finding out I was pregnant. In my first appointment, I switched doctors, and I said, I'm not doing this again with this doctor's office. Um, and I'm happy to say that that doctor's office that misdiagnosed me, no longer does OBGYN work. They just do gynecological, gyno, gyno work. Sorry, I can't talk. And I don't know why, but it doesn't hurt my feelings any. So anyway, but we went in for my first appointment, or I went in for my first appointment on my own, and because my husband had to work that day, and he said, well, I had some ultrasounds done already just to make sure everything was fine, and he said, well, your cervix is measuring a little short, or it looks like it's shortened, so we're going to do a length estimate, um, just to make sure everything's fine. We're going to send you off to um, a specialist to have them check, a perinatal specialist. So I went off to this perinatal specialist, and he said, well, your cervix looks fine on length. It's a little shorter than it normally would be, But you also had that LEAP procedure done a few years ago, so that takes off a little bit of your length. But your cervix is severely uh, curved, so it literally looked like a question mark on the screen. So um, we he said, well, because of the LEAP procedure, we're going to keep an eye on your cervix. We're going to do ultrasounds every couple of weeks and see how it goes. So I go in every couple of weeks. Everything's looking fine. After about 3 weeks, after about a month, he says, well, we're going to bump it back to about 3 weeks. So when you go back in for your next OB appointment, they're going to do another ultrasound, and we'll see uh, where we are then. So 3 weeks later, I had my next ultrasound appointment, and I was 15 weeks and 3 days. According to my schedule, I was 15 weeks and 3 days. Um, and right off the bat, I looked at the screen, and my cervix had shortened a lot, and I was already dilated. I was already funneling. Here's like the top of my cervix right here, and how my fingers kind of bow out at the bottom is what my cervix looked like. The funneling it's called funneling. It started to go up, and by the time I got in, um, they sent me home and told me to go on bed rest, and under no circumstances was I to get up, except for go to the bathroom. Um, I went Tuesday after that, had a cerclage put in. Um, by then, I was already a full centimeter dilated, and he could see the sac was bulging. He said that if I had not gone to the ultrasound appointment, I probably would have lost our son that week. I would have gone into preterm labor and I would have lost them, and there would have been nothing they could do because he was too early. Um, but and with the cerclage started 3 months of bed rest, and very strict bed rest. I could get up to go to pee. I could take a shower every other day. It had to be very short showers, and luckily my father-in-law, before he passed away, he had gotten a shower chair, so I was able to sit down while I was showering. So I wasn't standing on my feet for long. And but after 3 months, anybody who's followed us already knows at 28 weeks, just shy of 28 weeks, I went into preterm labor. I busted through my cerclage, and they couldn't stop the labor, so it was ended up with an emergency C-section, and delivered our beautiful baby boy that you saw in the beginning of these videos, July 9th, and he only weighed 2 pounds 4 ounces. He spent 3 months in a NICU. He came home on October 1st, and he's growing slowly. He's a very picky eater, but he's beautiful, he's healthy, and we couldn't ask for a better baby. He is so adorable. He's smiling and he's laughing now, and um, he's just really active. And we look at him all the time, and we are so thankful for switching doctors when we did, because if they hadn't been as vigilant as they had been, I would have lost him too. And my clinical diagnosis is cervical incompetence, and I would never have found that out. It would have been too late by the time they found out, and if I had stayed with the other doctor. So, but we made it through 2.5 years of very bad downs, and we are having so many ups now. It's not even funny. We are so happy. We're tired and stressed, but we are happy to be parents. And he's almost 6 months old now and thriving, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier with our big boy. And our story should tell everybody that you're gonna have your bad experiences with trying to conceive, but there is hope. So keep in mind, hope, 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 and God bless.